Mercy, Percy. Watch out, Buckaroos. How the heck are you? I'm the Whiskey Whisperer for the purposes of this late night video. Guess it's not that late for some. In fact, if you're on the West Coast watching me, hell, it's not even 8:30, man. What are you talking about, Tom? My perception of late is changing. I had to spend so many years waking up early for work, and now that's kind of changed on me. Bear with me, I'm having some issues getting something fixed here. It's not wanting to cooperate with me. There we go. Let's, all righty then. Now you probably figured out I'm not really in medieval pub behind me, but I thought it made a nice background. Are you really there, Tom? No, I didn't transport. Anyway, how the heck are you? I better get to this one quick before that little ice cube melts. I realized I forgot to make me some ice cubes. I've got Hochatown Distilling out of Broken Bow, Oklahoma. It says distilled, aged, and bottled by Hochatown Distilling, Broken Bow, Oklahoma. Aged not less than 3 years. This one comes in at 104 proof, and damn, it is good, man. I've been drinking it mostly straight, or neat, I should say. But I had a little cube. They're supposed to be diamonds, I think, but once you toss them in there, they don't look like diamonds anymore, man. Anyway, damn. Oh, this stuff is gorgeous. Very easy to drink at 104. Uh, oh, mercy, Percy, that's delicious. So if it gives me any background on the whiskey other than that. Now, they don't give me the mash bill, and I wish they did. This stuff is really good. Our straight bourbon whiskey, I don't have great lighting over here. I'm trying to read this. Finest corn, rye, and barley. So it does tell me that it is a traditional bourbon that uses rye as a secondary and not a wheated. A little bit sweet initially. You might feel some molasses or some very dark brown sugar notes. Certainly going to find the usual suspects. Vanilla is there, but it is light. Nice big oak and a mix of baking spice in the finish. Some dark fruit. For me, I'm picking up some dark cherry, some raisin. But depending on your taste, you might feel it as date and or fig. That wouldn't be unusual for this type of whiskey. Beautiful full body whiskey. I am a proponent in buying small, as those of you that know me know that. I don't buy a lot of the big guys. I don't subscribe to that. The bourbon lemmings that think you only have to have specific bottles. I don't have a collection. I only buy what I intend to drink, and sometimes I'm several bottles in. Sometimes I'm down to one bottle. It kind of comes and goes. I don't buy anything with the intention of reselling it because I hate those people. I think the secondary market is what's killing bourbon and whiskey and other things. But if you're buying on a secondary market, you're an idiot. If you're selling on the secondary market, you're a vulture. You're everything that's wrong with bourbon. You're driving up the price so you can make a profit. I guess that's what capitalism is about. I suppose. I call it greed, though. That's not capitalism. That's just flat out greed, breeding, feeding on ignorance. I just won't have any part of it. It's partially why I'm not in a lot of a lot of uh, bourbon groups on social media. I've been tossed out of a couple for saying just the things I just said. And I won't walk it back and I won't apologize. Mostly because it's the truth. And those of you buying on the secondary market, those of you selling on the secondary market, you don't want to admit it, but everything I said is correct. I had somebody actually tell me once, well, if you don't buy on the secondary market, there's things you're not going to taste. Well, then there's things I'm not going to taste. I don't care. There's too many things available. There's too many good products available for me to worry what I might not be able to have because I'm too intelligent not to buy on the secondary market. So no, I don't care if there's a handful of things I'm never going to have. I don't give a rat's ass. I'm not going to pay too much for a product you know you're overcharging for. All right, I'm going to get off that soapbox. I'll be right back with my second drink. All right, folks. Whiskey number two, one from Kansas, but I bought it in Tulsa back in January from Boot Hill Distillery. This is their straight wheat whiskey at 100 proof. If I can read this here, aged 2 years in charred oak cask at 100 proof. Grown, milled, mashed, fermented, distilled, and bottled by Boot Hill Distillery. And I'm a big fan of these grain to glass products, as those of you that know me know. So I've got a healthy 2 ounces here on a little bitty rock there. You can see that looks more like a Hershey's Kiss. It's supposed to be a diamond, but at this point it looks like a Hershey's Kiss. That's the problem with a lot of these specialty shaped molds. As soon as you put them in your product, it no longer looks like that. I had a Death Star globe mold and it looks great until you put it in the product, and then you can't see those things anymore. I used to have some. My wife had got me these ones that was snowflakes. Problem is, there's a lot of surfaces on a snowflake, so they tend to melt quick. But you drop that in a glass, and about a half a second later, it no longer looks like a snowflake. It looked like the Star David. And somebody asked, "Why do you got a Star David?" Well, it's supposed to be a snowflake, but nevertheless, nevertheless, man. 100 proof wheated bourbon. I bought this for just about the same price as that big name that should really only be about a $30 bourbon is selling for sometimes twice, 3 times, even 4 times what it's worth. When you can have a product like this that is so much better and help the small distilleries. It does drive me crazy that craft beer drinkers that insist on buying small and local won't have the same mentality when it comes to buying whiskey. For me, I mean, I carry it through. I buy small. I try to buy as small as possible when I'm buying whiskey. Even when I'm buying wine, most of the wine I own comes from small Missouri wineries. Most of the whiskey I own, that's necessarily all Missouri, but I do try to buy small. Feed those guys, man. Those big guys don't need your money. Don't pay attention to some asshole trying to make a buck that tells you got to have a specific bottle in your collection. Don't listen to him. It's not that necessarily don't know what they're talking about, but they're trying to make a buck and they're feeding on your ignorance of bourbon to try to do that. There's to take whatever that person would charge you for that bourbon, go to your store and buy a small distillery product that's on the shelf because I guarantee you there's one there. And you're going to buy a better product than you were going to. Without question. Not even knowing where you live, I'm betting you've got a good liquor store that's got some products from small distilleries, whether it's from your neck of the woods or neighboring. Instead of giving that person more money than that whiskey's worth, buy a whiskey that's actually worth that amount of money. I am a bigger fan of a traditional bourbon that uses rye as a secondary than a wheated bourbon. But this isn't a wheated bourbon; it is a wheat whiskey, so it is a little bit of a different animal. Comparing it to a wheated bourbon, that might have not been a apples to apples comparison, but I was talking more about the money, about the price of things. This is a beautiful wheat whiskey, soft and sweet as you expect it to be, but still picking up all that barrel goodness, maybe even more so. Almost a softer honey-like sweetness. The oak is there, but it runs through it very light until you get to the finish, and it kind of crescendos. Very light spice at the end. And the vanilla does the same thing. It's still dainty early on, and then it kind of grows to a crescendo. Perfect product to drink neat. I'm having it on the rocks mostly because, well, it's freaking hot out there, man. It's hot out there. I'm hot, man. It's hot. I'm hot. It's just hot, man. And sometimes cold just tastes better when it's really freaking hot, man. It's not so much that it's hot, but it's steamy, it's sticky, the air is thick, it's just unpleasant, man. Anyway, I digress. Let me show you this bottle one more time before I wrap this video up. Wrap it up, Tom. Boot Hill Distillery. Straight wheat whiskey. This stuff really is gorgeous. It's the first product I found from that distillery, and I can't find them here in Missouri. Like I said, I bought this one in Tulsa. I hope I can come across more from that distillery because this particular product is absolutely gorgeous. I am Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, man. Damn, that is good. Man, that's tasty. I don't care who you are. Skip to the end. All around good guy. Slot you.